One building, 1 kilometer into the sky. The first in human history to reach it. It was abandoned for 6 years. The workers left overnight, the cranes rusted, and in January 2025, it came back to life. This is the Jeddah Tower, and it is still being built. 5,000 workers. That's the number it took to lift this tower out of the sand, shift by shift, floor by floor. Not engineers in glass offices, but men from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Egypt, 30 nations, one pay slip, $20 a day. That's the price of a human hand in the shadow of a kilometer-high dream. They came for work that would outlast them. 12-hour days, 45 degrees Celsius by noon. Concrete burns on the arms, salt sweat stinging the eyes. The wind at 200 meters could knock a man sideways. Above the 50th floor, ice vests are rationed. Above the 10th, lifelines are mandatory. Miss a step and the ground is unforgiving. Most will never ride the elevators they poured, never sleep in the hotel rooms they wired, never stand on the glass deck at the 600-meter mark. They send money home, eat in canteens, and sleep in bunks stacked 6 high. Some fathers built the Burj Khalifa. Their sons came here, chasing a new record, a new wage. In 2017, the pay stopped. News spread fast. Bin Laden executives detained, cranes locked, site managers vanished. One night, the lights went out. By morning, the world's tallest crew was gone. 6 years of silence. Then, in 2025, the call went out again. Some of the same men returned. One of them, hands thick with callus, said, "I never thought I would see this place wake up again. Every meter of this tower is measured in sweat. The numbers are colossal, but the scale is always human." Beneath the sun-bleached dirt of Jeddah, the real battle was never against gravity. It was against the ground itself. Coral limestone, brittle, honeycombed, riddled with voids. The Red Sea's ancient skeleton, beautiful and treacherous, waiting to swallow a 1,000-meter dream whole. Before a single floor could rise, engineers had to conquer what lay below. They drilled. Not a dozen piles, not 100, but 270 shafts, each bored deep into the earth, some reaching farther down than the Eiffel Tower is tall. Every pile had to find bedrock or risk the whole structure shifting, cracking, failing. But coral is not solid. It is a labyrinth of empty pockets and hidden caverns. So crews injected grout, filling every void they could find, pressure pumping cement into the darkness until the ground stopped drinking. Then came the MAT, an artificial continent, 5 meters thick, wider than a football field. 18,000 cubic meters of concrete in a single 72-hour pour. Enough to fill 7 Olympic swimming pools, hardened into one seamless slab. But concrete cures hot, too hot, and it cracks from the inside out. So they laced the mat with cooling pipes, running chilled water day and night, fighting a chemical fire no one could see. 3,650 tons of steel rebar vanished into that slab, more metal than the Empire State Building's frame. Every kilogram placed, tied, checked. The concrete lab manager called it a controlled war against chaos. This wasn't just a foundation, it was a fortress against time, salt, and collapse. Only then could the world's tallest tower even think about rising. Wind is the enemy of tall things. For a tower chasing a kilometer, it's not just a nuisance. It's a force that can twist steel, shatter glass, and turn concrete into a tuning fork. The answer starts at the heart. A hexagonal concrete core, walls 1.5 meters thick, dense as a bunker, rising straight through the middle. Not a simple column, but a fortress with 6 sides, each bracing the others, Every angle calculated to resist the world's strongest gusts, but a core alone isn't enough. 3 wings radiate out like the arms of a starfish, each one a different length, each one breaking up the wind's rhythm. Vortex shedding, the invisible dance that toppled bridges and shakes skyscrapers, is scattered, diffused, robbed of its power. No 2 floors are the same. Every level twists, steps, or narrows, breaking up patterns, denying the wind a steady grip. The wings themselves aren't just slabs, they are shields tuned to the Red Sea's tempests, built to survive storms that would strip lesser towers bare. No outriggers, no giant steel trusses tying everything together. The geometry does the work. Engineers call it a buttressed core, but on site a foreman put it simpler. Every plate, every wall, every turn is a fight with the wind. 157 unique floor plates, each poured, shaped, and set by hand and machine. Every edge and angle exists for a reason. The higher you go, the more the wind wants to own the tower. The structure answers back, floor by floor, never repeating itself, never giving in. 4 cranes rise above the dust, giants in their own right, each one climbing the core as the tower grows beneath them. Every 4 days, a new floor appears. The rhythm is relentless. Concrete does not wait. Pumps drive slurry skyward at 350 bar, pushing mix 800 meters up. No skyscraper has ever demanded more from a pump's heart or a worker's nerve. Prefab cages of steel, each one bent, tied, and checked on the ground, arrive like clockwork. Hoists, 12 in all, swing 3-ton loads from sunrise to midnight. Miss the window, and the whole line stalls. The choreography is unforgiving. 1 error, and a week's progress unravels. Above, the wind never stops. Sensors, 600 of them, feed a digital dashboard. Tilt, strain, temperature, vibration. A foreman's finger hovers over the emergency stop. If a crane tips 2 degrees, if wind hits 40 kilometers an hour, everything halts. No negotiation. Safety is the only law that matters at this height. Hard hats are mandatory, so are lifelines. Every man is logged, every shift counted, every tool tracked. 1 lost bolt can cost a life. On this site, the margin for error is 0. The world's tallest building is not just a feat of engineering. It is a daily test of discipline, vigilance, and trust. Every system hums, every rule enforced, until the day the machines go silent. November 2017. The order came down from Riyadh with arrests, interrogations, and billions frozen. The bin Laden family, once untouchable, watched their empire splinter overnight. Jeddah Tower's heart stopped beating. 63 floors above the Red Sea, cranes froze mid-swing, concrete mixers idled, and 1,000 unfinished rooms turned silent. The world's tallest ambition, caught in a purge that swept through banks, palaces, and boardrooms. Kingdom Holdings owner, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, detained. The Saudi bin Laden Group, stripped of contracts, its chairman arrested, paychecks vanished, foremen disappeared. The men who built this skeleton, Bangladeshi, Indian, and Egyptian, waited for news that never came. No work, no wages, no way home but surrender. For 2,190 days, the tower stood in limbo. Sun baked the exposed rebar. Salt air gnawed at the concrete. Wind howled through hollow elevator shafts. Security guards patrolled empty corridors, watching for thieves, for ghosts, for hope. Inside the city, rumors spread about lawsuits, new contractors, and a project too big to fail, but too cursed to finish. The machinery of progress, once relentless, now rusted in place. For 6 years, the tallest building ever attempted was not a monument to vision, but a monument to stasis. Every day of silence was a day lost to politics, to fear, to the fragility of power. The tower waited, unfinished, a question mark on the skyline. September 2023, 14 giants of construction, names whispered in boardrooms from Shanghai to Madrid, lined up for a shot at the unfinished colossus. The contract was $1.9 billion. The promise was to wake the tower, to finish what others abandoned. 3 months of scrutiny, paperwork, and silent visits to the skeleton by the Red Sea. In the end, one winner, not the old guard. A new hand, ready to climb. But before a single worker returned, the tower had to prove it was still alive. Engineers drilled cores from concrete poured 7 years earlier, searching for rot, salt, and cracks invisible to the eye. Inspectors hammered, scanned, and sampled. Every meter of rebar was checked. Sensors, some dead, some blinking, were replaced or recalibrated. The verdict was that the bones held. The fight could continue. January 2025. The cranes spun again. The first new floor rose above the old scar. By February 2026, the goal was the 100th floor, 400 meters higher than the Empire State Building's roof. But the summit is still 700 meters away. A vertical desert, each meter a test. At 600 meters, a 30-meter cantilever will jut into the sky, daring the wind to try its worst. Above that, a tuned mass damper waits to steady the spire. Material by material, test by test, the climb resumes, anonymous hands, nameless faces, each one pushing the world's tallest unfinished dream 1 floor higher. A kilometer of concrete, steel, and sweat now rises again, higher than the Burj Khalifa, and deeper than the Eiffel Tower laid end to end. Every meter costs years of labor and years of risk. The world's boldest ambitions always balance on human hands, and the next chapter is being written now.